to Fairley's first horse show. We're going to be doing mountain trail, and this week's going to be kind of an interesting week because it is the week where we try to figure out what is Fairley going to compete in at the Thoroughbred makeover. I know I'm doing freestyle and I'm prepping her with Liberty and Bridleless for that, but what's her second discipline? I don't know. Is it going to be ranch? Is it going to be jumping? Is it going to be trail? So this week is a week of exploration. We're doing mountain trail today. We're going to go play with some cows on Monday. And we're going to a jumping show next week. So she's going to be doing a bunch of different things, and join me on this journey and let's figure out what is Fairley going to compete in.
So here we go with Fairley up and over the first obstacle with the cross logs. And my voice is getting much better, but I apologize. I'm still a little bit scratchy and hoarse, but hopefully you guys can understand me okay. And then this obstacle was the same one that Kaibu struggled with, but Kaibu struggled because he was not sure about leaving everybody else, whereas she struggled because she was not sure how she was going to get her way through. And if you go back and you look at the footage of Kaibu's video from yesterday and you compare it to what Fairley looked like trying to go through the logs, you'll see that Fairley was kind of looking at the logs and was unsure about her path. And then Kaibu, you'll see that he was more pulling his shoulder to go back to where the other horse is from. So they struggled at kind of at the same spot, but for different reasons. But she still worked through really nicely and completed the curtain, which I was really happy about because she's never done anything like that before. And then also to the mailbox. And then here, she's just kind of waiting because I have to wait for the other judge. This was where the switchover point was. And so we went through a little log thing there, and then we had to wait for the judge here before we can nod off and go on to the next obstacle. And so this obstacle, when Bling's video comes out, you'll see Bling struggled really hard actually with this obstacle. And so I actually rode Fairley after Bling. So when I went through it, I wasn't really sure if she was going to be okay with it or not, but she just went through it no problem. It's kind of like a mogul where they go up a kind of steep hill and then they go kind of through a ditch thing. And the ditch has this like scary log in the bottom, but she was totally fine through the hay bales. And then you'll see there's the one judge on that side and it switches over to the other judge. I disappeared in the background for a little bit and then you can kind of see me again there, gonna cross over a bridge there. And I was really thrilled with Fairley because I haven't even done my outdoor obstacle park at my own farm yet, and bringing her here for the mountain trail was kind of a spur of the moment decision because I was like, oh shoot, I need to figure out what we're going to do at the makeover. And so you'll notice I get off of my horse and walk her out, which is rather unusual. People don't typically do that, but I did ask for permission from the judge. And I did that because I noticed she was a little bit anxious being away from the other horses. So I just wanted to make sure we ended really positively. So this is a little look at them at the trailer. Fairley doesn't really know how to stand at the trailer. She stands parallel to the trailer. She hasn't really figured out that you're supposed to like face the trailer. So Bling was very irritated with her because that is her eating Bling's hay net. And we ended up having to move Bling to the other side there. But overall, she did really, really well. I wasn't really sure how she was going to handle everything. She hasn't been off property anywhere near as much as Bling has. And again, she doesn't have the same exposure to the obstacles because I wasn't really sure if I was going to be training her for trail or not. And so here we go on our second course. That's my dad there on the right. But anyways, here we go through the little windy bushes. And I'm going to jump ahead in footage just because I kind of disappear on the other side of that hill there, where we do come some kind of like windy hills and logs and things like that, which she was really good at. And then here we come into the tire obstacle. She's never seen anything like this before with steps or with tires, and she was really, really willing. So I was really impressed with her. And then here we come into the narrow bridge where we do end up struggling a little bit. So all of my horses had different spots where they struggled a little bit. And so here you see she kind of scrambles on the bridge a little bit. She doesn't even really get hardly any feet on it. So I back her up a little bit to encourage her to think and use her brain a little bit more. And then I decide to redo. So normally in a mountain trail competition, after you've kind of done an obstacle, you would just continue on. But I decided to take her back to try again. and she fell off of it again, and I was so attentive to go back a third time, but I thought, I'm probably going to get whistled off of the obstacle, so I'll just come back and do it later. So we left it there, and here go through the curtain again, which she has no problem with, which I'm really happy about. And then coming up, we're going to be doing the water box. And the water box and the teeter-totter were two obstacles that a lot of other people struggled with. So I wasn't really sure how she was going to do because she hasn't done a lot of obstacles, definitely not nearly as many as Bling has. And sometimes she can be a little bit of a chicken. She's never seen water before, so who knows how this is going to go. And so she comes and approaches it, and you'll see she definitely kind of looks at it and does a double take, and she's like, well, I don't really know what that is. And I just kind of keep her straight and ask her to try. And she kind of says, oh, I don't really know if I can try. So I just keep her straight. And then she goes through it, and she ends up kind of jumping through it. But I was really proud of her that she went through it. But she did kind of scramble across when she realized that it was water. And then the teeter-totter here was another obstacle that a lot of horses struggled with because they had to step down onto it first. And Fairly wasn't really sure how to do that at first. You can see she kind of hesitates and kind of says, well, I don't really know how to do that. It's a little bit tipped up kind of high, and they have to step down onto it. So you can see she steps onto it and it pops down. And I was really happy that she didn't feel the need to jump off of it, that she wasn't kind of scared from it doing that. So that was a really good note, and I decided to hop off of her there and kind of end nice and happy. So then we were allowed to go back into the ring at lunchtime, and so I went back to the narrow bridge and worked on it until we were able to kind of complete the turn and do it properly and kind of slow down. So that took a few repetitions before she was able to do it like that. So you can see I kind of stop her afterwards and give her lots of praise. And so I was pretty happy that she was able to figure that out. It definitely took a little bit of practice though. And then we came back to the water box, and I found this interesting that she really scrambled across it. So that just kind of showed me that she really was kind of left it on a scary note. So we repeated it until we were able to walk through calmly, like you just saw there. And so that's important, that we leave horses on a note of relaxation. And that was just a good example of, she got across it during the competition, but we left it on a note where she was anxious about it. And sometimes that happens when you do obstacles, as the horse steps onto it willingly, and then they realize that it's more scary than what they initially thought. So here is a raised back through, and so she bumped her bum a couple times, but then figured out what she was supposed to do with it. And you can see I'm giving her a little bit of praise there, a little reassurance. And she hasn't done anything like this before, so this was brand new. And what I'm really happy about is that when her bum was bumping into the post, that she wasn't freaking out or getting upset at me or anything like that. So anyways, that is Fairly's first show, and actually her first outdoor obstacle park, which is pretty cool. So I would love to hear what you guys think, and should Fairly compete in trail at the makeover? I don't know. She did really well, but we'll definitely see how she does in the next couple days. All right, bye for now.